This is Q. Q. This is indeed a Q.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Monday, August 6th, 2018, folks. We got some new QAnon, Q clearance, breadcrumbs, drops. What are we talking about? Take a look around the channel. Take a look around the internet. Get yourself up to Q, basically. Up to par, all right? Lots of information. We're going to jump right in here. Okay, we got a couple of trip codes. All right, and the last one I believe I read would have been on 8/3, 8/15. 01, yeah, because I didn't do any. So 8/16, FISA. This was on August 5th. FISA 20 in the brackets. There's a reason why we needed to go mainstream prior to the evidence being dropped. You have more than you know. D5. WWG1, WGA. Where we go one, we go all. All right, 8/17. Again, this came at 01 early in the morning. Sunday early morning. And we got a repost of one from May 10th. Fellow Patriots, what you are about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control, freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There's no stopping it now. D5, 45. Stay the course. Trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Remain brave. We knew this day would come. United we stand. Worldwide. All right, in parentheses. Worldwide, folks. Where we go one, we go all. We fight. Conspiracy. No more. Be aware of your surroundings. See something. Say something. All right, 8/18. And that's very just too easy, folks. All right, there's not much of a breakdown that is read. It reads it reads for what it is. 8/18 in the series. This came yesterday at 12:38. So just after noon. We got a Hillary Clinton tweet here. King James is a great family man. At King James is a great family man. Incredible ball player, gives back to his community, and isn't afraid to speak his mind. He's a world-class athlete and a class act. We need more like him in this world. That was from the 4th of August at 2:43 from Hillary. Regarding Robert Byrd, KKK member from my first day in Senate. A little bigger here. From my first day in Senate, I thought out his guidance, and he was always generous with his time and his wisdom. And as Secretary of State, I continue to rely on his advice and counsel. It is time to learn the truth. Reconcile. All right, we had a trip update, trip code. All right, so it changed. Here it came. Boom. That was at 15:12 yesterday, so 3:12 p.m. on 18/19, and then 18/20 it was trip date confirmed. And that came at 15:14, about 2 minutes after he announced the change. Okay, here we go, August 6th, and this came at 13:49, just about an hour ago. Important to understand prior to next. Intelligence House. Key points. U.S. House of Representatives Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, memo key points. All right, overview of process. The committee has made this memo public due to the American people's right to know this information. The committee, which is responsible for overseeing the activities of the House intelligence abuses that have occurred at the very top of the DOJ, FBI, and spur needed reform and accountability at those agencies so that the similar abuses will not occur under any other administration, Democrat or Republican. The government's surveillance capabilities are extraordinary powers that must be carefully circumscribed to protect American civil liberties. Any use of these powers for political purposes or any purpose other than defending the American people is intolerable. The decision to release the memo procedurally sounded in accordance with House and committee rules and included review by an executive branch and over 200 members of the House. It is in the public interest to release the memo, which carefully crafted to safeguard national security. Key revelations from the declassified memo. The Steele dossier formed an essential part of the FISA application targeting Carter Page. FBI Deputy Director McCabe confirmed that no surveillance warrant would have been sought from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISIC, without Steele dossier information. FBI and DOJ obtained the FISIC and initial warrant and 3 FISA renewals. Then FBI Director James Comey signed 3 FISA applications in question on behalf of the FBI, and former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe signed one. Then Deputy Attorney General DAG Sally Yates, then Acting DAG Dana Bonte, and DAJ Rod Rosenstein each signed 1 more FISA applications on behalf of the DOJ. Steele was paid over $160,000 by the Democratic National Committee, DNC, and Hillary for America, the Clinton campaign, for his dossier. Neither the initial application in October 2016 nor any of the renewals disclose or reference the role of the DNC, Clinton campaign, or any party campaign in funding Steele efforts, even though the political origins of the Steele dossier were then known to senior DOJ and FBI officials. While the FISA application relied on Steele's past record of credible reporting on other unrelated matters, it has ignored or concealed his anti-Trump financial and ideological motivations. Before and after Steele was terminated as a source, he maintained contact with the DOJ via then Associate Deputy Attorney General Bruce Orr. In September of 2016, Steele told Orr he was desperate that Donald Trump not get elected and was passionate about him not being president. Orr later relayed this evidence of Steele's bias to the FBI, where it was recorded into official files but not included in any of the FISA applications. None of the FISA applications mentioned that the FBI separately authorized payment to Steele for the dossier information. According to the head of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division, Assistant Director Bill Priestap, corroboration of Steele's dossier was in its infancy at the time of the initial Page FISA application. In early January of 2017, Director Comey briefed President-elect Trump on a summary of the Steele dossier, a document he later described as salacious and unverified. The Page FISA application incorrectly assesses that Steele did not directly provide information to Yahoo News. Steele had admitted in British court filings that he met with Yahoo News and several other outlets in September of 26 at the direction of Fusion GPS. Perkins Coie, the law firm that hired Fusion GPS on behalf of the DNC and the Clinton campaign, was aware of Steele's initial media contacts and hosted at least one meeting in Washington, D.C. in 2016 with Steele and Fusion GPS. Orr's wife was employed by Fusion GPS to assist in cultivation of opposition research on Trump. Orr later provided the FBI with all of his wife's opposition research paid for by the DNC and, of course, the Clinton campaign via Fusion GPS. The Page FISA application also mentions information regarding fellow Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos, but there is no evidence of any cooperation nor conspiracy between Page and Papadopoulos. Top 10 memo facts. The memo is not intended to undermine the special counsel. It is intended to expose past abuse of the FISA process at the DOJ and FBI. The memo is not intended to undermine DOJ or FBI. The House fulfillment of its constitutional responsibilities enables effective constitutional oversight of those agencies. The memo does not jeopardize national security. The careful release of formerly classified information served the public interest. followed by House rules, and included executive branch review. The memo does not undermine FISA Section 702. It has nothing to do with Section 702, which targets foreigners located overseas. The memo does not contain any factual errors. FBI did not identify any factual errors during its review of the memo. The memo does not result from cooperation of the White House. No one outside of the House Intelligence Committee played any role in drafting the memo. The memo is not a collection of partisan talking points. It lays out important facts for the American people about FISA abuse. The memo is not a product of secret changes. Minor edits were made before the vote to publicly release a memo, which was procedurally sound. The memo is not a staff-driven exercise. All committee Republican members were engaged in the process that led to the memo. The committee did not suppress the Democrats' memo. It voted unanimously to follow the same process for minority memos by first making it available to the House. Okay, HPSCI memo edits. HSPCBI ranking member Adam Schiff has been a ceaseless opponent of the committee's attempts to collect and share any of this information on FISA abuse. He even denounced the committee's issuance of subpoenas to the DOJ and the FBI for information the agencies are withholding from congressional oversight. In a last-ditch effort to block publication of the HPSCI memo, ranking member Schiff issued a press release complaining about minor edits the committee made to the memo. The edits implemented before HPSCI voted to make the memo public included routine minor technical changes and edits suggested by the FBI and the committee minority members themselves respectively. Ranking member Schiff press release is one in a long line of media stunts meant to oppose transparency and stifle the committee's investigation of possible surveillance abuse by top officials at the DOJ. All right, so we got through that, folks. All right, memo key points. Now we're here at the title. I'll read this. Get it a little bigger for you. All right, so this is a HPSCI majority. All right, Capital Washington, D.C., 20515 with a phone number. U.S. House Representatives Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, FISA Title I Summary. Title I of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act governs the targeting of foreign powers or agents of foreign powers for electronic service by the U.S. government. Agents of foreign powers can be either U.S. persons or non-U.S. persons. If the agent of a foreign power is a U.S. person, the government must show that the person is engaging in espionage, terrorism, or sabotage by or on behalf of a foreign power that involves a violation of a criminal statute. Applications to target a U.S. person under Title I must be accompanied by a certification from a senior national security official, which may include the director or deputy director of the FBI. They must be approved by the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, or the Assistant Attorney General for National Security. If one of those officials approves an application, it is then sent to a Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISAC, which consists of judges selected by Chief Justice of the Supreme Court who serve on a rotating basis. If the FISAC decides whether to approve or deny an application based on whether the government has demonstrated probable cause to believe the proposed target is a foreign power or an agent of a foreign power, and that the facility or place where the electronic surveillance will be directed is being used by a foreign power or agent or of a foreign power, if the application is approved, the U.S. government can conduct electronic surveillance of the target for the period of time specified in the application. At the end of the time period, the government must stop surveilling the target unless it goes back to the court and applies to renew its surveillance. For targeted U.S. citizens, FISA applications must be renewed by the FISAC every 90 days with separate finding of probable cause to continue the surveillance. Title I is different authority than Section 702, which Congress reauthorized several weeks ago. So what they're saying here, folks, is the initial application to gain surveillance, digital surveillance on you, if you're targeted, there's an application put in, it gets approved based on something they have to start it with, to prove that you're working with a foreign, government, you're under their control, a spy, whatever. you'll turn in an application. Now, 90 days later, you should have something more from the first 90 days that you got approved. So then you'd bring anything from that 90 days after you gained surveillance and the right to do this, and then you'd bring that forward saying, hey, we need a little bit more, another 90 days. Here's what we found in this last 90. Look at this, it's getting bad. Whatever, right? You can't keep using the same thing, which seems like what they're saying they did. They couldn't find anything. Nothing was coming out in the 90 days that they were getting, and they did it a couple times. So they were using the same evidence, which is a no-no. It was all fabricated and constructed in the beginning, and they were hoping to find something, and they found nothing, and they kept using the same thing, and it kept getting approved. This is abuse. Abuse of the whole system that they promised they would never turn on us. I mean, heck, even with the FBI lovebirds texting on government phones or FBI phones, and then that was all blanketed under the name of security. We can't be going down these roads where basically, you just had some people that were cheating, and they were talking about Trump, talking about making him not win, and they had that blanketed. That's the kind of stuff that's a big no-no. Yeah, if we just shove it over here, put the blanket of security, national security over it, nobody will ever find it, and it'll be blocked. See, this is all based on the fact that Hillary was going to win. That's what everyone thought. And that's why their minds were blown when she didn't, because they knew that they did a lot of careless work that was probably going to be exposed because it wasn't covered properly. They were running amok. They got real sloppy. All right. This is a system that's been going on for a long time, and you would bet your bottom dollar early on. People were real cautious, then the digital media thing came, and that's the bigger picture here, is that they set all this up. They promised all the promises. They set it up. They were in control of it. Now that they lost control of it, we got it all. I mean, because they had to partake in the system that they set up. As long as you're in control of it, you're all right. But now that you're not in control, they are scrambling. Okay, so important to understand prior to this next level coming up, all right? We just read it. You heard it here. That was post 1821, folks. 1,821 Q drops, breadcrumbs that we've gone over since the beginning of October 28th, October 27th, the very end of October of 17. All right, so post 1821 came at 1349. That was just before 2 o'clock. We had a couple of trip code updates. We had Hillary, a relook at the Robert Byrd. All right. All right, folks, we're hitting the 20-minute mark here, so I will shut this one down, get it out there. Again, this is the Patriot Hour update video. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell, toggle the switch, and to alert your device in the best manner for your device. All right, you can get it to be silent, maybe vibrate, whatever is good for you. We're still having issues. Let me know what you guys are thinking. The censorship has hit this channel just like many of others at a full time, but we're going to work through it. Definitely looking to set up on other platforms just as a backup, but we will be here hopefully through all of this. If anything happens, I don't know, just start looking around for the Patriot Hour elsewhere. I do have a backup channel on here. If need be, I'll ramp that up. It's just, I haven't done much on it in a week or so, but we do have some subscribers joining. It was supposed to be more about the background of this channel and just some of the technical stuff, just for fun. Some of the deleted scenes, if we have, got tons of footage of things that just don't make it on here, things that get cut, just errors that are kind of funny sometimes. Just that's what we were pushing it for, but honestly, it'll probably be a backup channel if ever needed. So look in the description box for that, along with other descriptions, links to the QAnon pub, and just some other links that you might be interested in. All right. Again, I'm Michael. This is a Patriot Hour. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us some time, listening, getting woke. All right. We really appreciate the collective comments as well. People not just, leaving a comment, but reading them. Really point you in the right direction sometimes. A lot of smart folks watch the Patriot Hour, lots of patriots around the world, and the links that they leave are great. So check that out as well. As long as leaving, as well as leaving a comment, look at the comments, read a few. All right, we'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour update. God bless, Godspeed, and we'll see you back here real soon. Have a great evening.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
You found it?